Now at 11, let's bring in CBS4 political analyst Jim DeFede, and we heard a little bit from Carly Fiorina in the setup here, but she had what you called the line of the night, and this was in response to an interview that Donald Trump gave where he talked about her face. He said, "Can you imagine that face as president of the United States?" Let's take a listen to what she said tonight.
Mr. Trump said that he heard Mr. Bush very clearly and what Mr. Bush said. I think women all over this country heard very clearly what Mr. Trump said.
I think she's got a beautiful face, and I think she's a beautiful woman.
I will tell you that was a devastating moment. I know that a lot of times pundits devastating against Trump, by far. I know that there are a lot of times during this campaign where people have come up and sort of said, "Oh, that's the moment that you can trace the decline of Donald Trump's candidacy." I think we're going to look at this. He came across petty in his response, and the real sign that it landed a strong blow was that for better part of an hour and a half, that came about halfway through the 3-hour debate. After that, the air was out of Trump. He did not come back as a fighter for the rest of it. He was much more passive. He was much more in the background. He was not driving the debate. Now, part of that is it's a 3-hour debate, and I think he used up a lot of his energy in the first part, but not in the second half. But she clearly landed a blow.
You said tonight that he lost his mojo after that moment. Someone whose campaign may have lost its mojo a little bit over the last several weeks has been Jeb Bush. He has seen his numbers drop in the polls. Did he do anything to help himself tonight?
Absolutely. Jeb had a good night tonight. You know, this was a much better debate performance than he had in Cleveland. You know, I think when Jeb really got going was when he stopped talking to Donald Trump by referring to him as Mr. Trump and started coming at him as Donald. And even going so far as to demand that Donald Trump apologize to his wife for comments Donald Trump made earlier about the fact that Jeb supports immigration reform because his wife's Mexican and somehow that has anything to do with it. It was a really, you know, Jeb scored some moments. I would have liked to have seen Jeb and I'm sure the Jeb campaign would have liked to have seen him be more aggressive at other points. He was still a little passive, but not as passive as Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio scored a few blows, but was really in the background of this debate, and that's not going to help Marco at all.
Well, it was a long debate, but they covered a lot of ground, a lot of substance tonight for voters out there looking for some information about these candidates. Jim, thanks very much for your analysis, and stay with CBS4 News and CBSMiami.com for continuing coverage of the rest of the presidential debates.